Welcome back to PicklePod. I'm Zane, the MLP GOAT, here with my co-host Thomas Shields, a 6.365 rated player. If I had to rank the 5 people who have contributed to my success the most, it would be 1. Murray 2, Thomas and the Dink. 3. Jenny 4. Dennis Navratil, enjoy the show.
That was creepy. I'm not gonna lie. That was creepy.
Yeah, I spent a long time doing this. And then as soon as I got the final product, I was like, yeah, no shot we actually put this on Instagram or anything. But works for the show.
All right. Perfect. Honestly, I'm pretty speechless after all that. Caitlin Clark played pickleball. You see that?
Yeah, I did. It was an Electrum event. But, okay, so now that we're through all that nonsense, where do you want to start? I know you had a rant. I know you want to go through MLP. So which direction do we want to go?
Ooh, I've got a Colin Johns rant. I've got MLP rants. But I think we should just start kind of from the beginning. First off, obviously there was MLP Grand Rapids. It was the mid-season tournament. And without, going into the matches, all that stuff too much, what do you think about this? Just having seen it, what do you think about the mid-season tournament format?
It seemed like people actually cared about this one. But that's pretty much my only takeaway. So full disclosure, we were running our own event. We had a ton going on. I didn't watch a moment of Major League Pickleball this weekend. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be a lot of help on this podcast for you.
Yeah, but I mean, you follow along with comments and all that stuff. You have a sense of the pulse. Yeah. I agree with you. I think it was important to have a winner of a tournament. Obviously, regular sports have a regular season, but I think it is cool to have an actual winner. And so what I would love to see, maybe this is a next year thing, is every tournament every event, you have a round-robin pools, and that's your regular season, and you can actually score maybe some bonus points in the actual tournament format, right? So that way you get your regular season, and you can get some actual extra points in those following.
Yeah.
That way you have your regular season, you also have a winner of each event. So I think people liked having a winner again of an event, a clear winner.
Yeah, so I was just thinking about this, what's the designation? Do we call you and the Fives MLP champs?
MLP mid-season champs, I guess?
We reserve that for the actual championship at the end of the year, right? So was this your 3rd, 4th MLP championship?
This is 4th.
4th. So would you consider this an MLP championship?
I would consider it an MLP championship. I would not consider it the MLP championship for this year. Mm-hmm. So I think that this counts, but it's not the overall championship,
yeah,
right?
But the funny thing is, remember last year, they did have the overall championship, and it seemed like people cared less about that.
Yeah, the super final deal?
Right, than the one for that weekend. Right, the super final ended up being sort of this secondary thing, partially because it was on a Monday, and but most people seem to care about that Sunday championship, which was just for the weekend.
Agreed. The super final deal was, I think, just very unclear.
Yeah.
It was confusing to even the players, and then it was tacked on at the end of an event. I think it was, I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea. I didn't think it was executed very well. Yeah, I think the idea was solid, but so the way that Will Howells and I had a bet on draft night. We said, if we become MLP champions, we're both going to get a clown's tattoo. I think we talked about this at some point on here.
Yeah.
And Will, on Sunday, is obviously let's hit up a Grand Rapids tattoo shop. I'm like, dude, we're the mid-season champs. We got to wait for the entire body of work to happen. The Lakers didn't get championship rings for winning the mid-season championship in the NBA. No, you want the end of the year thing. This is great. Obviously, we're super excited, very happy, but this isn't the MLP championship of this year.
Okay.
I
So
do
you're
not have a
getting
clown's
tattoo.
tattoo. No.
Okay. Sounds
I
like
am getting a
ball game.
clown's tattoo in December though, when we
When
win the
you
whole
guys
when we
win.
win the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And your take on your team moving forward, do you feel like you can repeat? Like, do you feel good about this team? Do you feel like it was tough toward the end? I mean, obviously it came down to a dream breaker, but
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're undefeated so far, right? We played 6 matches, but we are undefeated. We're the only team to not have lost a match. However, we're still near the bottom of the standings, actually. We've only
so
played
interesting.
3 matches that actually count towards our standing. We have 6 total points. Now, obviously, we have 23 matches left to make up points and get into the playoff picture, but this win gets us some money and a target on our back, and that's about it, right? It does not count for anything in the actual standings, unlike an NBA mid-season tournament, which I do have somewhat of a problem with that. It seems pretty foolish to not have this event count towards anything, really.
Right.
But, I mean, there's nothing we can really do about that now.
how much money did you make?
The payout was $80K for the team.
Dang.
So,
All right.
yeah.
And so
Yep.
have you gotten paid?
I mean, no, it just happened on Sunday.
Yeah.
But we will get paid.
Are they just going to like write you a check?
So it's
And that's
interesting.
just split amongst the players?
That's an interesting deal. Is this money goes to the team, so it goes to our owners.
So you're not getting a 20K check.
Our owners are paying us the full amount, but
It's up to their discretion.
it's up to their discretion. Now, theoretically, they could pay us nothing. Other GMs could pay nothing and say, look, we spend so much money on this team, like, we need to recoup a little bit of our investment. I think that's very, very short-sighted. And again, if that's the case, we're not playing for prize money at any of the other events. We should have just, if they're going to pay the money out to the teams, they should have never even published that. Right?
Yeah.
So it's very strange that they did. You could have all of this betting going on internally. I know they have plenty of bets internally anyway. It's strange to me to publish a prize money that's not guaranteed to go to the players.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's just a bad look.
Yeah.
But our team owners are awesome. Gary sent us a note this morning. Gary V and Ryan is great. Blake and the rest of the ownership group. Matt Leinart, our boy Sean, awesome owners. And they, I don't think the 80K is going to make or break any of those guys. So it might make or break Will Howells. So we're going to make sure he gets paid.
Little subtle jab there. Will Howells is broke. Wait, so when you guys won, you're like, all right, 80K, but you're in the back of your mind like, I don't even know if I'm going to make any of this. And then you later that you were going to get that they were going to pay it out to the players?
No, Ryan basically told us right away, like, yeah, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching that. I'm just going to pass it along to you guys.
That's cool.
Because, yeah, I mean, yes, you want these teams to make money long term, right? None of these people invested in this league to not make money over the long term, but 80K is immaterial in the long term, right? It's going to be dwarfed by the overall team valuation, and it seems short-sighted to take 20K from a pickleball player in 2024 in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
So, so yeah, other stuff from this weekend was we had more paddle issues.
Yes. I got quite an email about it.
Oh, well, let's hear about that.
I wonder if I can read through all this. Yeah, let's do it. We'll figure out if we need to cut it later. Just wanted to give you some info on what's going on with paddle testing at the MLP event this week. Might be worth reporting on because for 100K a year per manufacturer, PPL is a mess. Now again, that 100K, not confirmed. I believe this person is referencing the previous rumors that we've discussed at length.
Yeah, we haven't actually got an update on that in a while. But anyway.
Yeah. We went down to check out what was happening and can confirm firsthand that the testers gave up on testing deflection altogether because the calibration was off. Apparently, on Tuesday, they were asking people at the inside venue for paper clips to reset the machinery. Today, they scrapped it entirely. I believe I got this on, I think, Sunday.
This would have this would have happened before the tournament and starting on Thursday. So Thursday was the day that we received a message saying the equipment testing was off or had some sort of error. You can come reclaim your paddles, and we're only testing for grit. You can come get the paddles that failed for deflection.
Yeah.
And they texted out. Use whatever you want. I was like, I don't appreciate that wording.
Yeah. So I got this email on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
They were only testing for grit. Paddles were failing left and right, with many players buying paddles from Pickleball Central to have something to use, and even those failed testing. So again, we have these players like in the midst of a tournament running to the nearest pro shop to buy paddles. So hopefully they could get a passable paddle to use.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that alone is just and the fact that it keeps happening is just ridiculous.
So from what I understand, temperature has a big effect on the testing of the deflection. When when the paddles are warmer, the test tends to read in a way that would imply they're too poppy. And I'm bypassing some stuff, but basically more paddles fail for deflection when the paddles are warm, because you can basically squish your fingers, squish whatever measure into the paddle a little bit easier. It was pretty warm there, but it was also inside. I don't know if maybe people were bringing paddles from outside that were warm, giving them right away. I don't know what the deal was, but like the fact that we didn't have it there and they said use whatever you want is just, that's rough.
Right. Word from people in the room was that we'll just say a player, had 11 paddles fail testing. 11 is insane.
Mm-hmm.
How does this person even have 11 paddles on site? Do you have 11 paddles when you go to a tournament?
No, I usually come with like 4 or 5.
Yeah. I'm sure you can get more details from the players who went through this, but it's a total joke. I'm sharing this because I think there needs to be more transparency about the effectiveness or distinct lack thereof of this new group. Kind of a transition away from, previously we were like, PPL has it together, right? They were kind of the gold standard. They were figuring out how to do better testing on site. And for a while there, before the merger, we were like, Major League Pickleball can actually test effectively, whereas others can't. Seems like that's changed.
Yeah, I wasn't there on Thursday. I'm hearing all of these things secondhand. I've heard most of this same stuff. I'm kind of at a loss. I don't know. They said that it was some sort of equipment malfunction and that they were flying somebody in, and I heard they're flying an engineer in to come fix it. I don't know what the deal was. I also heard some fun conspiracy theories about it, that certain players didn't have paddles that they could use, so they decided to scrap the thing altogether. I heard that there was a team that was going to sit out because they couldn't get their paddles passed.
So they almost they were insinuating that they would just sit out of the event altogether. I would assume partially a bluff to get them to do something.
Yeah, but the timing is interesting. So again, this is rumors. This is unsubstantiated. This is stuff that I'm hearing secondhand. But essentially, a team had 0 playable paddles, and
it's so funny.
And they said, we're not playing. And then shortly thereafter, this message came that there was an error in the testing equipment. And, it sounds like there probably was, right? So it's not a great look. I hope there's actually somewhat of an investigation that goes on, or a little internal investigation. Like, Jason's got to figure out what happened there, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe we need to control for paddle temperatures, right? But then again, if all of the paddles are being tested in 70 degrees and you're a manufacturer and you know that the paddle's going to be tested in 70 degrees, but as soon as it gets to 80, the thing's a trampoline. I don't know, right?
Right. Don't you think we're a little too far along to be having this realization now that temperature can affect equipment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's surprising to anybody, but
Right.
yeah. I'd say this time I'm kind of at a loss. I just like every time you patch up, I feel like we're on a sinking ship with paddles, and every time you patch up one spot, like 3 more holes come out.
Mm-hmm.
So leads me back to our original point that I've been making for a year. What if we just stop policing the paddles and start policing the ball? Obviously, we're far away from that, but you can control the ball easier than you can control the paddle. Make a ball that slows down a ton, right? Maybe we actually move back to one of those jugs balls that has 26 holes instead of 40. You juice up the paddles as much as you want, but the ball slows down so much that it compensates.
Wouldn't less holes mean the ball is going to play faster?
Less holes would make more air
Or,
resistance
I
moving
guess,
through the
it would
ball.
be- right. And wouldn't air resistance slow the ball? So less
Yeah.
holes, you'd have less air resistance?
Less holes, the holes would be bigger, allowing more air into the ball.
Okay. That's an important piece of information. Bigger holes.
Bigger holes, yeah. Less holes, yeah. When you have these balls that have like 26 holes, the holes are probably 2.5 times as big.
Yeah.
They're much bigger.
So we've got RJ sitting here. He's on our team. He heads up partnerships over at the Dink. And I'm sort of trying to put myself in his shoes listening to us talk about all the holes in a ball. We're getting so niche. These conversations have gotten so far away from like what the casual or, outsider perspective would ever care about or even consider.
So if I'm going to bring it back, if I'm going to rein it in, policing paddles might be a lost cause. Police the ball instead.
Did you see anybody at the gym while you were there?
Just your bro. I met Thomas Shields Jr.
Yeah. Did you recognize him when you saw him?
No, but as soon as he introduced himself, it was like, oh yeah, you kind of look like Thomas.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm Thomas's better at pickleball brother.
It was you and James?
Ignatowicz?
Yeah.
I think James was there, but we weren't like,
Oh, okay.
we weren't
Got it.
like
Yeah.
hanging out or anything.
And you had a good conversation about
Your we had a great conversation about how much fun the Shields family has had watching pros versus 5-0s and your debut on that tournament or on that video.
I told many of them, just don't watch it. It's not worth it.
It's like the Streisand effect, though. The more you tell people not to watch it, the more they're going to want to watch it. You should have just been like, hey, I showed up on this video. It was kind of funny. You guys should check it out. And they'd be like, yeah, all right, Thomas, whatever. And then you never would have had to deal with it.
All right. Great.
All right, moving right along.
Yeah. Refresh and repair your body with Theragun Prime, the powerful percussive massage therapy device made simple for active lifestyles. Theragun's patented triangle grip allows you to reach more of your body than other devices. It's made from high-quality materials that withstand the rigors of daily use. Working with a Theragun massager is scientifically proven to relieve pain, reduce tightness, accelerate recovery, and improve circulation. Recover faster, play longer, get 10% off devices to reduce your risk of injuries with code DINK10, that's all caps DINK10, at therabody.com. I just want to get your take on the line call. I love that Travis went and just was like, first of all, I love Travis's little, what does he call it, like beer with Travis or something like that. I love that. I want to see one of those a day. But what's your take on that atrocious call where it hit a few feet inside the line, called out? Who was playing? Was it Esquivel and...
So this was California Black Bears versus Travis's team, the Florida Smash, and it was Travis it was Yates and I think Tammy Emmerich versus Rafa and Michelle. and Yates hit a winner. It was in by at least a foot, I think. It was probably a pretty safe thing, possibly like 18 inches in. It did whiz by everybody pretty quickly, and so Michelle Esquivel is the one who made the call. She made it as she was basically flipping her head around, and yeah, I mean, it was an egregious miss. And some context here, an egregious miss of a call. Some context is we moved inside on Thursday because there was a storm, like it was washed out. So the close call replay system wasn't able to set up. And they also couldn't even review the stream for whatever reason, which seems dumb to me. Like, it seems dumb that you couldn't at least challenge by looking at the stream.
Right.
But they couldn't. So it's 17-17 in Game 4. Esquivel called the ball from Yates Johnson out. It looked like she didn't turn her head around quite in time for the replay. Now, we also had line judges on every line, and that person, the line judge, was watching the play. There's a video of it. The line judge doesn't even turn their head for this. Rafa is Michelle's partner. He's kind of just looking around like, I don't really know. They look to the bench. From what I understand, the bench was telling them maybe it was out. So it got really chippy after that, and the Florida Smash ended up losing that match in a dream breaker. Travis went on Instagram, and as you mentioned in his rant, he mentioned that you are all culpable, you all cheated. What do you think of that?
I think that's a little bit aggressive, but at the same time, I think the sideline probably knew and just chose not to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
In that instance, it's nice when people kind of step up and say, no, right? That was in. Like, we got to be honest here. Clearly didn't happen. I don't know whether I agree with everybody, like it really being the responsibility of the sideline to step in. It's nice when they do that, but I think you kind of leave it to the players and the refs.
Mm-hmm. So my take on this, and I've spoken with Travis, I've spoken with Richie, I'm close with both of those guys. My take on this is one of the most confusing ethical line calls of all time. It's clear that the ball is in, but where does the responsibility lie? If I'm playing you and there are no line judges, the responsibility is 100% on me to make the correct call, right? I'm the only one who's able to make a call. When we're normally playing, there is a head referee that doesn't normally overrule anything. So let's say a normal PPA match. The responsibility is still 100% on me, but there is also the fallback of the challenge system. When there's a ref on every line, I think it gets less clear, right? Michelle is quickly turning her head around, and if there's a line judge on that line, is it her responsibility to always give the benefit of the doubt, even though there's somebody who's assigned to look on that line? And it gets unclear. Obviously, it sucks. It seems like she, at best, made a bad call by accident. At worst, hook of the year, right? But there is somebody assigned to that line for just this reason. So I don't think it's as cut and dry as what Travis says. Mm-hmm. I think there is a bit of that gray area. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would give Michelle the benefit of the doubt here, her turning her head and just not seeing it and just saying, you know what, just to be safe, call it out. We've all seen those plays where it happens so fast. In rec, it's usually okay, you give the benefit of the doubt to the other team. It's in because I didn't see it. I didn't see enough to call it out. In that environment, I can understand her sort of just saying, I'm going to call it out. We'll resolve it because I didn't see it. Because ultimately, she's got to make a call either way, right? Mm-hmm. So was she deliberately trying to hook? on that bad of a call? Probably not. But that's when I think, to Travis's point, the bench really should step in because it was so far in.
Yeah, I'm sure Michelle would want them to step in, right? If she knew 100% that she made that bad of a call, she wouldn't want to do it, right? That's like, there are very few people in pickleball that would want to make that bad of a call. There are plenty of people that might want to cheat. Again, I'm not saying, I'm not saying that a certain player would or wouldn't cheat. I don't think there are very many players that would want to cheat that egregiously, right? Just because of the reputational damage.
Right. I do think like all this talk about hooking and the line call controversies, I do think it's like in the back of people's mind now, right? Like you could end up on sorry, not sorry. And this is like a hotter topic than it usually is. So I bet it's actually served some good where it's in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Make more honest calls.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, here's the thing. If I'm in that situation normally, what I do, if neither of us saw a call on a bang-bang play like that and we're playing, what we would do is call it in and challenge our own call. The line judge wasn't, or the challenge system wasn't set up. So theoretically, I don't think you can't actually ask that line judge if it was in or out. The line judge that is in this very rare case sitting on the line, you cannot ask that line judge if it was in or out until you make a call. If you call it in, it's end of discussion. If you call it out, it goes to that line judge for an appeal, and they can say either they saw it or they didn't, in or out. So yeah, I don't think it's quite as cut and dry as what Travis says. But from Travis's side, right, he got the most egregious hook of the year. Of course he's going to be pissed. It's a crap situation, and the unfortunate part is that they couldn't at least use the actual stream, right? The actual stream showed just how clearly in that was. We didn't even need Kyle's close call replay system for it. If you went back and watched the stream, you could see that it was in by 1.5 feet.
Yeah. Do you think there's a difference between how you make calls when you're in a tournament environment and when you're just like playing with your boys?
There shouldn't be.
There is, though.
Oh, 100%.
People say it all the time.
That's a tournament call.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You give them the benefit of the doubt. You just call it in because it's kind of that thing where the ball's sort of over the like hanging over the line. Ball doesn't compress typically, and you're like, in a tournament, that's out, but it's good.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think there's a couple different ways to play. Like when we're warming up for a tournament and somebody misses a serve by a foot, but I can still play it, we're just going to keep going. We're looking for reps. In a rec game where it's somewhat competitive, I'm going to call it out if I see it 100% out. I'm probably not going to call it out if I think it's out. And in a tournament, I like to think that I play the same way in rec versus a tournament and give the benefit of the doubt unless I'm 100% sure. But some people do call it differently in rec versus tournaments. So Wyatt Stone hooks in all of them. So. Love you, Wyatt. Wyatt makes some fun calls in rec play. I think he's just cap.
I like the people who are taking just ricochet shots from you today.
Oh, yeah.
If we can see how many more you can get in.
I'm fired up.
Before the end of the episode.
But what do you think of... What do you think of... Obviously, you said you liked the rant. At what point is Travis, giving his opinion, and at what point is he also, like, throwing somebody under the bus or airing out dirty laundry?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see. I'll see what the next rant is. I mean, he was directly involved in that one, so
yeah,
there's going to be an inherent bias or opinion there. His team suffered the consequences.
But I mean, from his perspective, it's a clear one, right? He has all the right to be pissed off about it.
Was that a pivotal point?
Yeah, it was 17-17 in Game 4. So it was a very, very important point.
Yeah. How about the Johns Bros? What's going on there?
So Carolina had a very rough tournament. They went 0-2. Ben and Colin lost both of their matches. They lost to the Ranchers 26-28, and they lost to the Squeeze 22-25. Ben and Jesse also went 0-2 over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So first and foremost there, I'd be pretty pissed if I was Ben, right? The ownership group spent whatever it was, $700,000 on him, and then nothing on anybody else. Like, get the guy some help, right? Spend some money, spend some more money on it. But so first off, like, I would be upset if I was Ben because they were one of two teams that left something on the table. The Black Diamonds didn't spend all of their money, and the Carolina Pickleball Club didn't spend all of their money. Like, I'd be pretty pissed. All right, I've got a rant. All right. There's been a lot of talk about Colin Johns, right? Obviously, the results weren't there for him this weekend. Him and Ben have been struggling this year, still with a very good resume on the year. A good performance on the year, gold medals, but not the same dominance that they once had. And so speculation, people asking, like, when even pickleball.com put out a post like, is it time for Ben to move on from Colin? It's a tough question. And so I'm actually going to come to that it might be true. The answer to that might be yes. Like, from a purely play perspective, yes, it's time for Ben to move on from Colin. Honestly, I don't know if Colin, would have gotten that spot to play with Ben if his last name wasn't Johns, right, from the beginning. But in defense of Colin, he molded his game. He took a bet on what pro pickleball was going to look like and molded his game exactly to what they thought was going to win. And it did for several years, right? The grinding out opponents and letting Ben take over worked, and it worked phenomenally because Ben was the best player, is the best player in the world. I think Colin settled into the ball maker role a little bit too much, and as play has developed and the game has gotten faster and the game has gotten more aggressive, Colin doesn't punish opponents quite enough. I think he's well aware of this, right? Colin is one of the smartest players out there, I think, and I think has his style of play ingrained into his muscle memory. He's going to have some work to do to start finding offense on that right side. And we have really good examples of what that looks like. You have Dylan Frazier, who kind of started the trend. I think Dylan and Matt Wright started the trend of very offensive right side players. Gabe Tardio came along and is doing it really, really well. So I think Colin, I'm not going to say anything that is too. I mean, this is clear. Like, he's got to add more offense to his game because he is currently a bailout spot for any other team. I think Ben is not going to drop Colin. I think if anything, Colin says, let me take some time to work on my game, partner up with somebody else for a little bit, I'll be back. But then it leads the question, okay, let's say Colin is out of the picture. Who are Ben's choices to play with? If we're going through the rankings, you've got Dylan. Dylan's going to say no. Him and J-Dub are number one right now, right? You've got, if we're going through the rankings, you've got Tyson. I don't think that they're going to mesh well together. Fed's primarily playing left side. Matt Wright, I think, is a legitimate option, but Matt's not getting any younger. He's 47 years old right now, but he is that offensive-minded right side player, and they've played well together before. So I think if I'm betting on who it would be, I've got Matt Wright, Deckel Barr.
I think it's Deckel.
You think it's Deckel?
I think him and, yeah. They have they're like really good friends. I think Deckel got into pickleball because of Colin, or they sort of came into it together, and they always had a great relationship. And I think Ben and Deckel would have great chemistry, and I'm sure Deckel would be up for that.
Yeah, I think Deckel is an option. I think Ben came on this podcast and explained how much he wants to play with a lefty at some point, but I don't think there are any lefties that are really ready, right? Tyler Leung, Rafa, Jack Monroe, I think is a viable option, not this year, but next. Augie Guh, again, probably not quite ready, but a possibility. I think it'll be interesting to see. And I think that Colin is smart enough to recognize these changes in the game, and he's going to be coming and adapting. Colin is a very good attacker from the right side. He's stopped doing it. He can do it. He doesn't. So I think it's unlocking that before they start to have the same amount of success again.
If I'm Augie, if I'm Jack Monroe, if I'm Will Howells or anybody who's coming up, I am all over Ben right now. I'm in his DMs, and I'm trying to make that happen.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Ben, you know where to find me, homie.
Yeah, why not you?
I'm not good enough.
Would you, yeah, all right. I'd like to see that.
I mean, I would say yes, of course, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be me.
I mean, there are a handful of players that if he were to pair with, they'd be number one, right? I was wrong, though. I was very wrong about Ben and Colin. I thought Carolina was going to be a very solid team. I mean, if you go back to like the first Major League Pickleball, if you told me it was Ben, Colin, Jesse, Coop, I'd be like, that is,
oh,
I mean,
yeah.
They don't lose.
2021 MLP, that is a shoo-in win.
Yeah, a lot's changed in a few years.
Even, 2021, 2022, definitely. Now, no. So the tough part about that is I don't see that team making any moves. So as of right now, none of those players are tradable within Premier League. You could possibly trade for some cash considerations, right? Like maybe they trade with the Black Diamonds, Cali, and give Pardo another 100K. I don't know. But the way that team has been playing, with the exception of Ben, you would have to pay to get any Premier level player to offload Colin, Andrea, or Jesse. And it just looks like those guys are miserable. That team doesn't want to be there.
That was the other thing is like we've long, especially in the early MLPs, and I think it's still, we don't talk about it as much anymore, but like the energy is a massive factor. Who's the energy person on that team, right? Who's hyping up the crew when, their back's against the wall? You think about like Ben and Jesse, they both kind of have that. Colin too, they sort of just have this like complacency when things aren't going their way, and they're not ones to, say, all right, let's have a good attitude, hype up their teammate, and get back into the game. When things start to go south, they go south. It's very rare that it turns around.
Yeah, no, I mean there is no energy person on that team, so it doesn't look fun. I don't think it's good for MLP to have Ben on a team that is so disinteresting and disinterested. I think that's rough. So, and I think that starts from the draft. To sign Ben, lock him down, and give him no help whatsoever is, if I'm Ben, I'm pissed. And not to say, I said no help whatsoever, but obviously these are all great players in their own right, but you left a considerable amount of money on the table.
Yep. Wait, so was your rant in there somewhere?
Yeah, I ranted on Colin.
Okay, all right.
I think if you could tell me, hey, I have this way of playing that's going to make you win everything for 2.5 years, I would be all over it, right? He did just that. He did exactly what it took to win for 2.5 years, and now, now that game style is becoming obsolete and he's going to have to adapt, but he did the right things. Like, anybody would take that option. So I think Colin is falling behind, but is going to figure it out. Should we talk some more about MLP stuff? What do you think?
What else you got?
Well, on the agenda, we have the Well, let's talk about close call replay system. Can they go back to not having that?
Why?
You didn't see any of these challenges because you didn't
No.
watch too much. But, I mean, it's so clear. There's great angles every time. Like, the fans absolutely loved it. Maddie Pickles, the internet trolls, Hey Shay, especially, big troll. They loved it. And I can see why. Like, Kyle did an awesome job with it. Every call had a pretty every challenge had a pretty definitive in or out, like pretty clear. So with real money on the line, like I wonder when that becomes a must-have.
Wait, why do you not like it?
No, I do.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't like it.
No, maybe I did by accident.
Okay,
but
okay.
we loved it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So Challenger League, Pablo Tellez bounces back after getting sent down to Challenger League, and they won a pretty dominant Challenger title. He was first in the standings and 6-0 on the weekend. So I would say big shout out to Pablo for having a great attitude after moving down to Challenger. It would be easy to throw in the towel and not care or check out, but dude did just the opposite on the team with Lane, Lina, and De La Rosa. Good for him.
Yay, congrats, Pablo. You think he would play with Ben?
Pablo?
Yeah.
Would he?
He's a lefty for you.
I think he would play with Ben. I don't think Ben would pick.
You think it's feasible?
I don't think Ben would pick Pablo.
Why?
I think maybe this is the wrong way of looking for it, but I still think that Ben wants somebody who's a little bit more consistent. Pablo is a little bit up and down at times on that right side.
Mm-hmm.
So Ben doesn't need necessarily like a Colin anymore that's going to make every ball, but he needs somebody with some offense who can play offense and be consistent, right? A Matt Wright. Matt Wright doesn't make as many balls as Colin, but he's got more weapons than Colin.
Mm-hmm.
Pablo has a lot more weapons than Colin, misses a lot more than Colin. So I don't think Pablo would be the one for him, but maybe I'm wrong.
Did you get to go on Anna Leigh's RV?
Yeah, it was sick. It was super convenient. We did laundry
Just like
in there.
Oh, really? Okay.
We only had one match per day, but like being able to get in the AC was really nice. That thing is state of the art.
Yeah.
Also, I learned that it's not an RV; it is a coach.
What's the difference?
I don't know the answer to that, but it's a coach, not an RV.
Okay.
I talked to Mr. Scott, the driver.
Mr. Scott. He's also like the security guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cook.
Yeah. Oh man.
He made some barbecue.
As a Swiss Army knife.
Absolutely. Good dude.
Did you guys go celebrate after the win?
No, we didn't. We all got out of there.
You don't have any good celebratory stories after like big events yet?
Me?
Just generally.
Are you kidding me? We went on Ryan Sherry's party bus after we won in 2022. That was a good story.
Yeah, that's a good one. Where was that?
That was here in Austin.
Oh, okay.
Me,
Where'd you guys
Irina,
go?
Rafa, and Paris. I think at some point we ended up on 6th. I don't remember, and it wasn't because I was drunk, but because it was late at night, and I go to bed at 9:30 normally. But everybody else was drinking, and I was double fisting Ben and Jerry's on the bus. There's a pretty great picture of it.
Oh, I remember that
we
now, yeah.
We stole the Lee Whitwell sign, too, and Ryan Sherry was with Lee Whitwell on the back of the bus. You remember those, like, flags that they used to have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best celebratory story is AJ Kohler after the Las Vegas Knights win the Stanley Cup.
Wait, I don't know if I know this.
There's a bunch of videos of him just like out partying with them, like chugging from the Stanley Cup and stuff. So.
Oh, he was with the actual. Yeah. Damn, how'd that happen?
I have no idea. He was showing me these videos. I was like, that's awesome.
Good for him.
So did you guys like talk to Gary V afterward?
Gary sent us a nice little video of himself. He was pretty stoked. So
he seemed pretty involved overall.
Yeah, I mean, I think we always have a great fan section. I think he puts something or another out and saying like, "Hey, the Fives are playing here. Go show them some love." So we always have a great fan section, and that goes a long way. Ryan gets them real riled up, and that definitely helps. That's worth a tangible amount of points, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah. It's fun. Like at the beginning of these MLPs, it's always just so unclear who's going to be the best team. And I think that the auction draft this time around made it even less clear. I think it made the playing field even more even. You know, we had 2 Dream Breakers and one that probably should have gone to a Dream Breaker against the Dallas Flash. But I don't know. I think there are more and more matches going to Dream Breakers, and that's exactly what we want.
Yeah. So overall, do you like the team format? You like playing in a team format?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've made no, I haven't hid the fact that I think that this is the future of the sport with occasional, I think this should be the main part of the sport with occasional individual tournaments.
Yeah. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten more traction in the amateur scene, right? You get a group of friends together, you get to go travel to some destination, and you get to go play in these team-based events. I mean, that's what the Dink Minor League is. So
Right.
There's a shameless plug there.
Absolutely.
But I'm starting to piece together a team so we can go play in the Miami one. Who doesn't want to go
Nice.
down to Miami? You get to go to Miami with the crew and compete, and then like go have fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that, you know, having a team just definitely adds to the fun. And I think, you know, I would just point to that there are a lot more other tournaments to choose from currently, right? The Dink Minor Leagues is expanding, and how many spots do you have this year? How many different? I saw some map, but
Yeah, it's between 160 and 200.
nice.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
and there's more added all the time. So it is
Over the-
definitely growing.
yeah, over the last couple of years, that just hasn't been as much of an option as the APP or USAP or PPA, right? Now with that being an option, I think that those are going to become more and more popular.
Yeah.
Like,
But even just like maximizing court time for rec play, right? You can go out there with 8 people, and you know, because your team's out there competing and you're cheering, it's not as bad when you're like not on the court, right? When you're playing rec play, it's like you put your pedal on the line, and you feel like you're waiting for it. Once you finally get on, you don't want to lose the court. But in that type of environment, like it's fun even when you're not on the court, right?
yeah, I don't know. If I'm just going to rec play, I probably wouldn't want to do the team.
Yeah, you
the
just wanna
team
play the
format.
whole
I just want to
time.
play my matches the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But in a competitive format, like, I like it. Who do you got on your squad for the Miami one?
I'm trying to figure out whether I want to do Duper 18 or Duper 20. Right? And that just is the 18 and the 20. That's just the combined dupers of all 4 players. So you have to hit it on the nose or be slightly under it. Because I'm a 4-6 in duper, I feel like I got to go do Duper 20 because
Yeah.
we'd have a big advantage.
Yeah.
I could go get somebody who's, you know, a 5-4, right? And that's out.
What's your bro's duper?
He's about a 4-6-ish.
Okay.
And then I have a cousin, she's a 5-0, and then another cousin, she's a 4-6-ish too. So we could put together a pretty. We're just
You're
above
just over
being able
the
to do a
18.
really good Duper 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like thinking through that. You know, how do we put together a team and go compete as like a family? Because that'd be cool. Which is another thing people should do. So. Yeah, that'll be my first like actual team-based event that's an actual tournament versus just like doing it for fun, which I've also only done with my family. All right, Olakai, we've talked about him before, except today I'm wearing mine. We finally got him in. These are pickleball shoes, but as you can see, I wear them as street shoes. RJ over there in the corner, he's got his on too. Definitely our favorite shoes right now because they're stylish for off-court. And they got that like streetwear vibe. It's a Hawaiian-inspired lifestyle brand, best known for their insanely comfortable footwear. Their Now shoe is designed specifically for pickleball with a focus on airy breathability, lateral stability, and multi-directional traction, and comfort both on and off the court. They feature a non-marking sole for indoor and outdoor pickleball courts with a design inspired by cauliflower coral. That is found through Hawaii's ocean waters. The purchase of every Olakai product gives back to Hawaiian nonprofits. Visit the link in the description to try a pair for yourself.
Corvive Hydrate is an advanced electrolyte drink mix designed to ensure optimal hydration, essential for maintaining nerve, muscle, and brain function. I could have used that over at MLP this weekend in Grand Rapids. It was like 100 degrees over there, as Tropical mentioned. But the Hydrate formula is NSF certified for sport and is free of artificial colors and sweeteners. With 4 times less sugar and 3 times the electrolytes of grocery brands, the pure cane sugar aids in efficient absorption of electrolytes, making it superior to water alone. Hydrate is used by more than 4 MLB teams, and pink lemonade is available in stick packs or a tub. Use code PICKLE at corvive.com to save 30% on your order. You ever go outside and play and you feel like no matter how much water you drink, you just still feel awful?
That is me 100% of the time.
Yeah, you had that cramping problem at when you played one game with Matt Klitsch. Now, to be fair, it is like 100 degrees here in Austin. But that probably just means that you don't have the right electrolyte balance, and that's super, super important. You can't hydrate in conditions like this with water alone. You have to have those salts, those electrolytes, and when you are playing a long match, you do want some carbohydrates in the form of some good sugar, like pure cane sugar. So I'm going to check out Corvive and use code PICKLE. Save some money on that, because we all know that hydration stuff can be expensive, so might as well save some money while you can.
All right, what else do we want to do? Anything else on Major League Pickleball?
Let's see.
All right, but so you have 4 Major League Pickleball championships. Do you think there's something in your game that's better suited for Major League Pickleball? Do you think that you know something strategy-wise, or you have some sort of advantage, whatever that may be, when it comes to Major League Pickleball, when it comes to team-based formats?
Well, I mean, people online are quick to point out that I'm not at the top of the standings, right? Like, I was at the bottom of the standings. I think my main skill for MLP is a few intangible things. First off, like, I can play either side of the court in men's or mixed, right? Actually, I started playing the right side of the court with Mari in mixed. So I'm flexible. I can mold my game pretty well with most partners, and I'm a good team guy. Like, I feel like I can play a style that and act in a certain way that is good for a team. And obviously, like, I can play all 3 events well. I do think a big part of it is the strategy and the organization that goes into it. Making sure that we've got all the courts that we need, that we've got a game plan, that we've got practices scheduled, that we're getting the most out of every player. And so, I've said it before, and I'll to people, I don't think I'm anything better than a replacement level pickleball player among men in Major League Pickleball, but I think I'm very good at all of the intangibles. Good team guy. I can play any event on any side of the court, and I'm good with the strategy. I think I'm good with the strategy because I'm not the best pickleball player out there. I've got to figure out other ways to try and win. And then, I have had a good run of playing well in important points. There could be something to that. It could also very well just be luck, right? Like, everybody chokes. Everybody raises to the occasion sometimes. I've had a good run of rising to the occasion in these MLP finals. And I think the more that you get there, the more that you have confidence in those situations. This was my 7th final, actually. So, to answer your question, maybe I have more titles. I don't think that makes me the MLP GOAT or anything, but I think I'm well suited for the format.
Yeah. Walk me through the logic of playing the right side with Mari.
Yeah. Well, we didn't play very well with me on the left side. So Mari has legitimately, I think, a top 5 backhand flick of any player. I'm talking J-Dub, Ben, James Ignatowicz, and then like Mari is in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I'm playing the left side, she doesn't get a ton of opportunities to do that. When I'm playing the right side, I can put on a lot of pressure and make them try and hit to that spot, and
Right.
she can tee off on it. And so I don't mind playing the right side. I've got my two-handed backhand sitting in the middle. I think it sets up our team well to win. We went 0-3 with me on the left side. We went 1-1 with two really good matches against J-Dub and Georgia, who we beat, and then James and Rachel, who we narrowly lost to. So Mari is a stud on that left side.
Yeah.
She plays on the left with AL too. So
Can you adapt that at all to amateurs? Like, is that's obviously in mixed, especially in rec play, guys going to play left side. Would you say that that is something people should consider more often, or do you think this is like a super unique situation?
well, I actually learned this from Anna Leigh, and Leigh put it in a good way. Like when Mari and AL are playing together, they said, look, Anna Leigh can play either side. Mari, where are you more comfortable? You're going to be getting the majority of the shots. Where are you most comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, left side. And so Anna Leigh plays the right. Anna Leigh is far and away the best female player in the world, and she doesn't have the ego to be like, I got to play on the left.
Mm-hmm.
No, she plays on the right because that's what's going to give her team the best shot to win. So I think you have to take a real rational look at what's going to give your team the best opportunity to win. If you've got a female partner that is awful on the right but great on the left, even if it means you might not be as involved, like put them in the best spot to succeed.
Yep. Cool. Okay. All right. Anything else we want to cover? We were going to play that game, but kind of got through a lot of stuff.
How long is this game? I'm interested in this game.
Well, you have to. We got to play it for. We could do like one round of it.
All right.
RJ.
Yep. So we got call one person who thinks pickleball sucks.
Call one person who thinks pickleball sucks. Can I call Jenny?
Yep.
No, she used to before I started making money playing pickleball. Call one person that thinks pickleball sucks. Can we call Andy Roddick?
Yeah.
You got Andy's number?
Yeah.
You think he's gonna answer?
No. But what if he did? Shit. I don't want to
You don't want to just
blow up Andy Roddick on a random Tuesday. I kind of want to though. God.
I don't. If somebody thinks pickleball sucks, the problem is I just delete their phone number. So I don't have anybody in my phone that thinks pickleball sucks.
All right, give us one. Give us another one.
Okay. So call one person who thinks they're better than they are at pickleball.
Oh, okay.
You know
Hold
who
on.
you're calling.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I
I
got
think I
somebody.
know.
Hold on. I got somebody. Ready?
Put on speaker. Aw, dude. Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, we're on this game challenge thing.
No, well played. Well played, because I thought you were going to call someone else. So I'll call that person. It's disrespectful. I'm the third ricochet shot today.
A phone call from Thomas, that's rare.
What's your duper right now?
Like 476 maybe?
You think that's a little high?
I mean, after how I played in Newport, it probably feels high.
Oh, that went against our thesis.
I must be on a podcast right now.
No, not at all.
Oh, no. I need to know what this is for now.
Nah, yo, just, have a good one, Chris. Good talking to you.
Yeah, tune into next week's show.
All right, sounds great.
Chris Olsen, Pickleball Studio.
3-5
Unfortunately, he was
at best.
humble.
I know.
Don't be humble, dude.
3-5 at best. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, give me another one.
Yeah. So we got call one person who is really well connected in pickleball.
Ooh, there's a bunch of different people we could call.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Who do you have in mind?
I don't know. There's Adam. I'm just going alphabetically. There's Adam Stone. I've got too many pickleball contacts. I feel like any of the pros are pretty well connected.
I got one. Wait, why can't I remember where MLP was this past weekend? Where was it?
Your
You got
caller
this.
has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is...
Tropical.
Tropical. Oh, that's a good one. I can't believe you didn't answer. It was in Beer City. Beer City at Grand
dude,
Rapids.
God, I knew that.
Come on, Michigan boy.
He had mentioned Gary Vee earlier as a good answer to this.
Gary V. Just give him a call.
Do it.
I'm too afraid of that. I'm too afraid to do that.
Do it.
Too afraid.
You're one of his players. You can't call the owner?
Hey, yo, Gary, what up?
Yeah.
You're on our podcast.
Yeah.
He's not bad.
All right, let's do another one then.
Call one person who is a little too obsessed with pickleball.
I got this.
Yo,
What up?
what up?
How do you feel like the weekend went?
Pretty good. Pretty good for us. I thought, what, MLP or Ranchers?
Just MLP in general. You're on the podcast, by the
Oh,
way.
it's Ryan.
I think it's a good product. I think the weekend winner is a good product. But it's I think it's good. I think the crowd is the biggest variable, I think, at any of the venues, because DC was popping on that Saturday because the crowd is great, and it wasn't like someone had $50,000 on the line. It was a great regular season match. But I thought Beer City went pretty well. It felt very intimate, fun, casual, and I thought the crowd was like a little weak in energy-wise. I don't know if it's like sleepy boomers or Northern Michigan, but
Oh, dude.
I don't know. No, it was different. I mean, DC was like, and it wasn't like they were just cheering for one team. They were there for like pro pickleball or like the pros that they knew.
Mm-hmm.
Like Beer City felt more of like a summer camp exhibition, but I still thought it was good.
Gotcha. All right, now give us your geekiest piece of technical pickleball theory.
Technical theory. I think you said this, that I'm kind of your backhands in the middle and forehands on the outside is something men's doubles should really explore.
I like it.
And for the right situations, I think enabling ATPs or like going hard and aggressively pushing someone, knowing that your partner is going to have an ATP, is like probably an underutilized niche tactic.
Interesting. That's what we called you for, Ryan. We appreciate it. All right, we got Ryan DeWidgeon, GM of the Ranchers, who took third place this past weekend at MLP, and Pickleballed on Instagram, making balls on Instagram, Play the Lab on Instagram. The man has no hair but 3 Instagram accounts. Give him a follow.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
Enjoy.
Give us another one.
Call one person who is Big Pickle.
Call up Pardo.
I got one.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Who was it?
Jimmy.
Jimmy Miller?
Yeah. I'm calling Pardo.
Why was Jimmy Miller's voicemail in a British accent?
Connor.
Going on.
How was the weekend?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. You're on the pod.
I am right now.
Yeah. What'd you think of the weekend? What?
Why did you call me on the phone?
We're playing a game.
The weekend was great. MLP was awesome. What did you think?
I didn't even get to watch. I was just telling Zane. but we were recapping everything.
You didn't get to watch even though your co-host is Zane. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it's tough. It doesn't help add any value to the pod.
God, did you see me back in Zane on Facebook saying he's the GOAT of MLP? No debate.
That's what we were just talking about.
I know. I got in there to troll a little bit. Some dude posted that like I'm at the bottom of the standings, and then, wait, what did he post? He posted like that me, Megan, Dazan, Alex, and somebody else would be like the worst challenger team, and so I was trolling him a little bit.
Yeah, you're like, this aged well, or whatever, yeah. Someone else posted and said, Zane's the GOAT of MLP, and I said, yes, I agree, no debate. Started debating with me.
The debate's fun. I don't think I'm the GOAT of MLP. I think I've had some good teams, and I think I can get the most out of teams, which is important. But should we tell Connor why we called?
So we're playing a game, and there's a list, and it says, call somebody who, is like knows too much about pickleball, or call somebody who's better than they think or who's worse than they think they are at pickleball. And then this one was call somebody who is Big Pickle.
That's funny.
Connor, I'm still waiting on that shirt, dude.
Oh, I know, I need to get you that. I forgot about that. Well, I would have called you if someone said I would have called Thomas, call someone who thinks they're better at pickleball than they actually are. That'd been my call.
Yeah, I know.
Wait.
Yeah, we know.
Connor, I actually called Thomas while we were in the room together for that one.
Stop it. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate it. When's the pod coming out? I'm going to have to tune in.
I'll probably do Thursday.
Cool.
Cool.
That's awesome.
All right. Thanks, Connor. Talk to you.
All right. Talk
See
to
ya.
you later, guys.
Thanks, dude. Bye.
Let's do one more.
Last one.
Call one person who has no idea what pickleball is.
Hello.
What do you think about pickleball?
Right this second?
Yeah.
I can't play it right this second, but I can a little bit.
No, what do you think about pickleball as a sport?
Pickleball.
That's it?
I got a ball that looks like a wiffle ball, but it's not. It's a pickleball.
All right. Thanks, dude. Talk to you later.
Bye.
All right, I got one.
That's a random friend from home.
I got...
One more.
Okay. Call the person you think that is the funniest in pickleball.
Let's see. We called Stone and Tropical already. Who's funniest? Oh, wait. Hold on. No. I got one. I don't think he'll answer, but I got one.
Thomas Shields. What's up, my guy?
Dude, that's who I was about to call. That's exactly who I was going to call.
What are you doing?
Just taking my daughters out to lunch. What you got going on?
Oh, wait. That's not who I was talking about.
We're on the pod. It's Tyson.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you're on the pod?
Uh-huh.
With Zane?
What's
Yes.
up, T-Money?
What's up, Zane? What, are we live? You're recording? What's going on?
That's correct.
We're live, and you just surprise called me out of the blue without even texting me first?
That's correct.
That's how we roll, Tyson.
Okay. Well, do I still have to give my consent, right, for you to play this on air?
Yeah, you do. We can take it out.
No, that's fine. Well, let's hear what we got before I decide.
So we're playing a game where we call random people according to a category, and this one was called the funniest person in pickleball. So you're getting a compliment.
Yeah, that's me for sure. Thank you. Both of you agreed on that?
No, I was about to call Greg Dow. I'm going to call him right after you hang up, too.
We're going to have like a funny off.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work.
No, you're not going to both be on at the same time.
Yeah, I'm more situational. If he writes jokes, good for him. And I'm more just like seat up on my pants type of guy.
Yeah. When are we going to see you back on TV?
I mean, we've had some conversations, but nothing solid, and I also couldn't say anything even if there was.
I like it. Okay.
He'd have to kill us.
We got to jump to another call. Thanks for answering. Text me if there's no consent.
Yeah, Yeah, you can have consent, and thank God this is over.
Bye.
Okay. Hear from you guys. We
See ya.
can catch up off the pod sometime.
Later.
Okay, see ya.
See you, dude.
Nicholas,
Hey, what up, Tom?
how was the tournament? How's Beer
It
City?
was great, man. It was really, really fun, man. Even it was just the problem thing. I don't know. Were you in Michigan at all that week or last weekend or no?
No, and you're on the pod, FYI.
Am I?
Yeah.
In a good way or a bad way?
However you want to make it.
Oh, right now I am?
Yep.
Oh, what's going on, dude? Yeah, the tournament was great. I got to see my boy Zane Nabertil crush it, absolute unit. I was out there hyping him up like crazy. All the teams. It was great, dude. It was really, really good. I was happy to be out there. Only problem is Zane could attest to this. It was hot as balls.
It was hot as balls. I can attest.
It was, dude. I needed so many pairs of Duluth Armancello pants underwear, dude. I was cycling those out like crazy, dude. It was terrible, man. But besides that, it was great, man. I'm super happy that Zane won again, man. It was really, really nice, dude.
Tropical, you do a real good job, man. That's not an easy job to do.
Honestly, Zane, I'm still exhausted. It takes me a couple days to recover after, man. I think you see me like out there. Like I think I'm on my feet like the whole time. I don't think I sit down for 12 hours, right?
Yeah, no, you do a good job. It's not an easy job whatsoever.
No, thank you, Zane. I'm gonna ask you, what can I do better? How about that?
Ooh, I think you'd be funnier if you were fatter.
I'm already fat. That's so funny. Just put on more weight. Why'd you put on more weight? Because Zane told me to. Oh, it's too good.
Fat dudes are funny.
I am. I think people like me because I am a little bit on the husky side. I am on the husky side. What else? What other thoughts? Thomas, did you hear anything, Tom?
No, I just saw you on the mic again. I was happy to see you back out there.
Yeah, you guys posted me, JB posted me up on
Yeah.
you guys' Instagram, which I was happy about, man, so I appreciate it. I put a lot of thought and effort into that. Zane, did you like your intro or no?
Honestly, dude, I couldn't, I was so focused. I did not hear a word you said the entire tournament.
Wait, do it again. Do his intro now.
I got to pull up I have like a little script that I did. I said multiple MVPs. I said a bunch of stuff. Because I saved the best for last, like Anna Leigh had to be last. And then for Anna Leigh, what did I say for Anna Leigh? I said Anna Leigh has so many trophies and medals, she has nowhere to put them. She had to buy a second house in Boca Raton and put everything everywhere. That made a lot of people laugh. But then other stuff, yeah. But I don't know, man. I just didn't know. I didn't expect to be on the pod, so I hope I got what were looking for.
Absolutely, you crushed it.
You did great.
I appreciate you guys, man. Thomas, let me know when you're back in town. Hopefully we'll get to play together, okay?
All right, we'll do. Later, dude.
All right.
Tropical, come on.
Tropical, man.
All right, last one.
Yep.
My guy just put out a legendary video yesterday. This thing was hilarious. Greg, what up, dude? One of the best commentators in pro pickleball. But dude, now you're on the pod, by the way. Just so you know, you're on the pod right now. I wanted to share your dinking tips with the general pickleball community.
My dinking tips.
Yeah, the cup dink.
Oh, yes. So this is, and you can check me out on Instagram, Greg Dow PB. I made a little video yesterday about the cup dink. Zane, you're familiar, right?
Yeah, honestly, you guys got to check this out on Instagram. It's worth it. Greg Dow PB. Yes, I'm familiar with the cup dink. Ben Johns, J.W. Johnson, and the like.
These guys use this cup dink, and it's when the ball gets behind you, instead of taking a step back and still hitting it in front of your body, you're just going to kind of cup your hand and move your elbow back, keeping your body still and hitting that ball. Zane, you following me here?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the listeners at home are with you.
Okay, awesome. Well, so what you're going to do, and you guys, you got to see the visual here. Check out the video, but you can do this without a paddle. without a ball, without a pickleball court, all you need is a willing partner. Okay.
Do they?
Use the word.
Do they have to be? Sorry. Do they have to be named Carlos?
They have to. Well, you can. So I call them So whether it's Carlos, actually Carlos, or whoever else you want, they're always going to be called Carlos. That's just for the sake of the drill. That's how it goes, Zane.
All right. Thank you.
So you're Carlos. You would be my Carlos if you were helping me.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yeah.
So basically, get a Carlos, okay, and you're going to place your Carlos right. If you're a right-handed player, place him to the right side of you, okay? Ask him for permission because you're going to be touching Carlos, okay? Ask him for permission to touch him. Okay, let's go through that real quick. Zane, Carlos, do I have permission to touch you?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. You're supposed to say C. Carlos usually speaks Spanish, but if you have an English speaker, that's okay too. See, what you want to do is just cup your hand, okay, like you're gonna like fix a light bulb, okay, under a lamp. Think about that. Light bulb under a lamp. Cup that hand, and you're gonna want to just sort of dig into your Carlos's backside, okay, their buttocks, okay, and you're gonna dig in, hold it, make sure this is a muscle memory thing, okay, there's no paddle, no ball. Hold it in their cheeks. Don't go down the middle, okay, that can cause some problems. Go left cheek, boom, right cheek, boom, and make sure you hold. Make sure they feel that. Make sure Carlos feels your strength, feels your power, and feels your just natural ability to dink, okay?
So
that's about it, Zane.
How do you know that you're doing it correctly?
Yeah, so your Carlos, they should shudder a little bit the first time you do it because they're feeling your fingers and your hands should be in the right placement to where you should, boom, dig right into their butt cheek, perfectly around their butt cheek, okay? So not in the hole, not on the outside. I mean perfectly in their butt cheek. And most people haven't felt that, right, Zane? So they should shudder. There should be an initial shudder on the first practice dink. And then once you go to the right cheek, boom, another shudder. So if your partner is shuddering, that's a good sign you're doing it right.
Okay, nice. And yeah, we've confirmed with multiple sources that Ben and J-Dub are doing this drill multiple times per week. Thank you for bringing it to the public.
No problem. Yeah, that's their secret. I somewhat exposed them. Still no response from either of them, but we'll see. Hopefully something coming soon.
All right. Well, that was Dinking with Dow. Make sure to check out Greg Dow on Instagram. This video was phenomenal. It'll help your pickleball game.
It will. Thank you, Zane.
Thanks, Dow.
Dow's tip number 1, the cup dink. You've seen Ben Johns, you've seen J.W. Johnson do it. We're going to teach you how to do it at home. Carlos, come here. What you're going to do, you don't even need a paddle. All you're going to do, get a friend. I got Carlos here, okay? And how you're going to do it is you're going to ask Carlos first. You're going to say, Carlos, do I have permission to touch you? See? Okay. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to do that cupping motion, okay? But you're going to do it on Carlos's or your Carlos's rear end, okay? Now watch this. Here we go. Cup and hold. Good. Cup and hold. Good. Now, don't spank. Come here for a second. Come over here. Don't spank. Okay? We don't want a spank. Carlos, do you like that?
See.
No, Carlos. It's not playtime yet. You say no. No, you don't like that. We want a cup. Okay? Now, when you practice this, you want to go left cheek, boom, down the line dink. Now right cheek, boom, down the line. And that's Dow's tip.
All right, that feels like Pickle Pod.
Yeah. I like this game.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, dollar has gonna